is Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross and Blue Shield.
The pitch. Bouncer to third. Diving stop. Valbuena. Throw to first. Out at first. John Farrell will challenge. Cubs think they've won it, but we'll get another look at it. They're high-fiving behind the mound, and Farrell will have to challenge this, so the game ends.
Oh, yeah, it was a close one, but Anthony Rizzo and company rally in the final frame at Fenway to pull out game number 2 and clinch the series in Boston. Some dazzling defensive plays, big-time hitting, and we will get to it all. Hello and welcome to Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield, along with Todd Hollinsworth. I'm Kelly Kroll, and Todd, it was tight all game long, but it is great to see Rick's crew really come through there in the 9th with some clutch hitting, but as well, the defense is what kept them in it. Well,
Edwin Jackson as well. I mean, he made big pitches in big spots as well. Yeah, great defense. Coughlin makes a great play off the wall, nails A.J. Brzezinski at second base. Shearholtz, great grab in right field on a line drive. I mean, you saw this all night long. So this is what you felt. I mean, you felt like it was, the Boston Red Sox grinding out at bats. Every pitch meant something. You felt like it. It was a long ball game. Sure, it was a 2-1 ball game, but you knew that every little thing mattered. And you got the sense early in this one, as you saw, very little bit of, very little scoring and great defensive plays. Guys making pitches. Buchholz didn't want to bend. Edwin didn't want to bend, and it comes down to the 9th inning, and the Cubs are able to put together a couple big at-bats there. Starlin Castro set the table. Luis Valbuena getting it done. Yeah,
Anthony Rizzo leading it off there in the night, but the patience paying off. The game was scoreless going into the bottom of the 5th, and that's really when the Red Sox were able to finally push one across and get after Edwin Jackson.
Well, this is really key for me. I mean, we talk about the Boston Red Sox way, and we hear it here in Chicago. Theo, Jed, we talk about this all the deliberate at-bats. You've really seen it all series long. Even in yesterday's start against Arrieta, you saw some of those grind them out at bats. One thing the Boston Red Sox did to Edwin Jackson in this inning, jump on some first pitches. You look at Holtz at the table right there. First pitch fastball, lines at the left. Edwin had been getting ahead of hitters and was very aggressive with the fastball early in the count, throwing strikes and then expanding the strike zone. Pedroia did it right there as well. Jumped on a first pitch slider. That's their first run of the ball game, and that was the one thing that I thought, oh no, there's a little teetering going on, but Edwin was able to get back into the game and able to get back on those corners and make some pitches after that.
Yeah, and Buchholz very good on the other side, of course, as well. The 6th inning when the Cubs get after him, and really he had sat down 13 in a row up to this point when Justin Ruggiano finally gets going and Chris Coughlin.
You felt like the numbers don't lie in this one. I mean, Buchholz comes in this one with just really horrible numbers this year. I can't be gentle on this one. I mean, Clay has just struggled mightily all season long, so I felt like it's a good opportunity for the Cubs to build some innings. And, right here you felt like there was an opportunity, but it was the kind of ball game. It kind of had this feel. You look at the Anthony Rizzo lineout right there. You felt like we got 3 hits in the inning. Here comes our big gun. He's up at the plate, smokes one down the right field line, and bam, double play out of the inning. So that's kind of how the tone of this ball game was, and you felt like it's probably why the pace of the game started to slow down. You felt like it wasn't going to take a whole lot to decide this one, and it really didn't. So guys were making pitches and grinding out at bats as best they could. But again, that was probably the best inning for the Cubs to score.
No question. I think as a hitter, when you're making good contact like that, you feel like, hey, one of these is going to fall in. This is going to come around. As we check out our Sports Authority play of the game, well, Luis Valbuena, who got the sac fly there in the 9th, scores Anthony Rizzo, gives the Cubs the go-ahead.
Well, we're going to give him an awful lot of kudos. Sure, this is the game winner, but let's remember, Luis has not been swinging the bat all that well. He has been grinding out his bats. You look earlier in this series and some of his bats over the last week or so, he has just really been grinding right now, and Uehara is no walk in the park. Gets a hanging split finger right there. As a matter of fact, all 3 Cubs, the big guys in that inning, Starlin hit the splitty, Anthony hit the splitty, and Luis Valbuena hit the splitty as well. So his splitty was up tonight. Uehara is, like I said, no walk in the park. He's one of the best in the business. He deals, typically pitches backwards with the splitty, leading to that fastball. I'll tell you what, his 88, 89 usually looks like 95. He does not get hit hard, but they were able to put good at-bats together. And again, Luis Valbuena in that big spot right there. All things considered, the way he's been swinging the bat, biggest hit of the night.
Well, 2-1 the final in the favor of the Cubs, as Todd mentioned earlier, not a ton of offense, and part of that because of the defense we were also seeing out there. But both pitchers, pretty good stuff tonight. Edwin Jackson, 6 innings, 1 run on 6 hits. Buchholz, 6 1/3, 1 run on 5 hits, so pretty even, but Jackson had it all working tonight, really.
Oh, I'm stubborn. I think they were really
Is that what it is?
Tonight. Well, nobody wanted to bend. I mean, you think about what both of these guys have been dealing with this year, and, really it has been some inconsistency. I think of Edwin Jackson and what was working for him tonight. You saw the slider. You saw the changeup. This is what I've been screaming for months. I was just hoping that he would start to lean on that changeup just a little bit more, and you saw it tonight to get some big strikeouts as well. So, again, nice mix of pitches. There was that changeup right there. Gets the swing and the miss from that. Napoli in a big spot. Made pitches there as well. Saw the 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Pitched backwards a little bit, but again, he's got to live on the corners. That's the end story. Can't have him making mistakes out over the middle of the plate. That's where he gets burned. And tonight, neither pitcher, Buchholz, did a nice job as well, living on the corners.
Well, as you mentioned, Buchholz, he kept the Cubs on their toes for quite some time, and it really was, I feel like, Justin Ruggiano who kind of got after him there. But describe what he was doing to keep the guys guessing for a while.
Very similar to what Edwin Jackson was doing. Again, I thought you'd see a few more mistakes out over the plate and play. Buchholz, since coming back off the disabled list, it's two decent starts for him. One against the Mariners here, one against the Cubs. Again, expanding the strike zone. It's always the key for him to get. He's trying to get you to chase his pitch ultimately, and you see this right here. Even these at-bats, getting into the kitchen, throwing the cutter, throwing the slider, pitching backwards at times, sneaking the fastball in there. Just not a lot of hard contact from the Cubs in this ballgame. If he was going to make a mistake, it was going to be on the outside part of the plate or off the outside part of the plate. He did not make any mistakes out over the plate tonight. And again, the Cubs did not, outside of that one inning where Anthony lined out right there, weren't able to string any kind of hits together. That's it right there. That's the one inning, the sixth, where they scored. And that's just about it. And they got a huge play from Dustin Pedroia right there to make that happen with the ball that went off his backhand to, Drew at shortstop.
Well, looked like
they got out of it. And I mean, that's the reality of it. I mean, you felt like maybe it's a little lucky at all, but that's exactly how it went. You felt like that could have been a big inning for the Cubs, but they weren't able to make it happen because of some good defensive plays behind Buchholz.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jackson, solid on the bump, as we mentioned, but definitely had some help behind him. The Cubs flashing the leather and covering quite a bit of real estate. We'll have the best coming your way after the break here on Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. We'll be right back.
Cubs Postgame Live is presented to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois knows your 20s is your time. So go ahead and act your age. We're the smart choice for health insurance, and we're ready when you are. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all.
Come into Steak and Shake for real hand-dipped milkshakes. Better yet, come into Steak and Shake for real hand-dipped milkshakes at half price during half-price happy hour, weekdays 2 to 4 at Steak and Shake. The $4 menu at Steak and Shake, featuring handcrafted steak burgers, all beef footlongs, and fresh guacamole made from scratch. The $4 menu, where all meals are under $4 at Steak and Shake.
It all comes down to this. Danny Walker at the plate, bottom of the ninth, 2 outs.
Come on, Danny, this is it.
Walker digs in.
Really wish I could finish this, but I'm so tired. Gotta get up in a few hours.
Stream your favorite movies with UVerse high-speed internet. With AT&T, the UVerse revolves around you.
The DirecTV customers you're about to meet have allowed us to switch their service to Dish Network.
I had no idea that Dish Network was lacking in so many channels compared to what I had with DirecTV. I sat down with Madison to try to watch some TV. We tried to find her favorite channels, Nick Jr., Animal Planet, Disney Jr., and none of them were there. She was not happy.
I don't like it.
I'm Dr. Andy, the Kia man. At Evergreen Kia, we're always fighting high prices. Yeah! And other people's high payments. Kia! Whoa! Have no fear. Kia man is here, and I'll defend you from these guys, their high prices and their high payments, and all the other competition.
And you'll save hundreds on gas with our fuel-efficient Kias, like this new Kia Sportage, loaded with equipment and gets 28 miles per gallon. Only $18,895 or $174 a month.
Take good care of my Kia, and we'll take good care of you.
Time for our 4 seasons, heating, air conditioning, and plumbing. Who's hot and who's not in interleague play this season? How about it? Chris Davis batting .420 with 4 home runs. Carlos Gonzalez also pretty solid up there with the .417 in interleague play. And Andrew McCutchen, who the Cubs have seen all too much of. So they know what he can do. Who's not? Jimmy Rollins hitting .179, just 6 ribbies. Ian Desmond and Matt Kemp. I don't know, Todd. Is L.A. the right place for him anymore? What do you think?
Well, he's been swinging it better of late. I'll give him some credit. It has turned around for him out there. The Dodgers are playing pretty good ball.
I put him on the hot spot. Hey, welcome back to Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. The Cubbies come up with the 2-1 victory with a late 9th inning rally. We'll take a look at the Subway winning box score. And it's like the guys always said, even at the start of the season, Todd, you know, they were getting hits, just not the big hit. But tonight, they got that big hit.
Well, they built it. They built a couple innings. That's the key here. Not a lot of offense to talk about. Starlin Castro, again, big double right there. Gets it going in the 9th inning along with Anthony Rizzo. Said it all along. You're not going to get a lot of hits. You got to string them together. And they did string together just enough offense. 2 runs, enough to get it done 2 nights in a row. Probably tells you a little bit more about the pitching than it does about the offense, but good at bats late.
You talk about stringing them together, and we go to our UPS store taking care of business. Player of the game, it was Starlin Castro, who pretty much set the table. Full count double, moves Rizzo to 3rd, and up comes Valbuena. The rest history.
No, listen, these are mistakes by Uehara. I mean, typically the split finger's not up in the zone like it was tonight, but you got to give the hitters credit for getting on them. That's the key. Uehara usually does not miss like he did tonight, and there was some opportunity there. Anthony got it done. Starlin set the table with the double right there. Luis Valbuena, obviously the big sacrifice fly, gets it done late. But again, that was the biggest hit of the ball game for me right there. That double got everything going.
When you talk about that splitter, as Castro is watching Rizzo, and of course Valbuena is watching Castro, how quickly are guys picking up on that and what it is that they need to do in their next at bat?
Well, there's some awareness. I mean, again, Uehara, I mean, this isn't somebody who the Cubs hitters have seen an awful lot of. I mean, again, the book on him is just a tremendous split finger fastball. Throws 88 to 92 miles an hour, but the book on him is that 88 to 92 looks like 94, 96, just the way he kind of jumps at you. His mechanics, and again, you know, his numbers don't lie. We watched him do it in the postseason last year. I mean, it's going to be a battle when he's out there, but clearly the Cubs hitters picked out a pitch in their mind that if we're going to be on something, let's get on the splitty. Felt like he was going to get him out, try to get him out that way tonight. 3 times he went at him, 3 times the Cubs came through.
Yeah, Northsiders in that position, however, because of the dazzling defense, which of course we will take a look at right now. There was just some great stuff going on from the Cubs, the way they were, the play in the outfield. Chris Coughlin right here. Describe what you liked from them.
Well, I thought that was a great play right there. Number 1, AJ didn't run, so I love it when guys get blown up at second base when they don't run out of the box. And Coughlin just does a fantastic job playing this off the wall. I mean, you got to know, you got to come in early, you got to do your work, and you got to, you know, the Cubs don't play in Boston too often, so you know, you got to get in there, take the fly balls off the wall, see how it goes, see how it comes down. Plays it, bare hands it off the wall, and throws a strike to Darwin. It's not a long throw. You just got to execute it, and he does flawlessly. Wellington Castillo, talking about getting your guy out of a jam right there. Picks Steven Drew up. I'm not quite sure what Steven was doing on this one. Takes off for second, comes back. Welly all over it. We've seen him do that one before. Snap throw to first. He gets him out right there. I mean, this was going on all night long. This is Nate Shearholtz, and this is a weird one. Actually, the camera angle from behind on this one was even better.
Was cool.
You see Nate Shearholtz coming in and having to change directions at the last second, almost as if that ball was knuckling a little bit. Makes a great play. And, I mean, this is going on. Ruggiano, again, a game saver. This is runners in scoring position. You look at the Boston Red Sox in those middle innings, the 5th, 6th, 7th. They had runners in scoring position, runner at second base every inning. All of these catches were huge in this ball game. So the defense getting it done behind Edwin Jackson, backing him up tonight, backing that bullpen up as well. That's what really gave them the chance to win this one.
Well, we were seeing these plays all night, and then in the final out, the very last out of the game, if you will, it's Luis Valbuena there at 3rd. Walk us through that play and kind of how, I mean, he didn't have a whole lot of time to take his time, but he made this work.
Yeah, Dustin's hustling down the line right there, and this is a bang-bang play at first base. I'll say this, maybe the ball before it, the ball that Holt goes to his backhand, it's a similar play at third base. I mean, he has to go down to the ground and make the play, he has to come up and make a throw. Now, Luis didn't make the throw on the Holt single because it was in the backhand and he kind of knocked it down. But Luis, it kind of gets you awake a little bit. Sometimes you get a little action and it gets you on point. Not that he wouldn't be awake anyway. I'm just saying maybe it helped him out a little bit. But he gets up real quick, makes a strong throw across the diamond. Long hop for Anthony right there, which I think is key. Gives him something to see as it comes up right there. And boy, that right there is how much the Cubs won by tonight.
Well, it's fun, too, to watch them celebrate a little bit. They deserved this one. They certainly were out there and working hard for Edwin Edwin Jackson behind him tonight. You saw him pump his fist a couple times. He knew what the guys were doing out there.
No, they were making plays behind him. They were. It was a great effort by Edwin Jackson again tonight. Made great pitches tonight and let his defense work. That's key. I mean, again, for me, it's always about the walks. You got a guy out there throwing walks that puts your defense to sleep. He wasn't doing that tonight. He had a few, but he didn't make too much trouble for himself. When he needed to make pitches, when he needed to get out there on the corners, he did. He got that slider working for him. The changeup, I hope that's a conversation we continue to have, because I'll tell you, it worked for him tonight. So again, something to build off of into his next start.
Absolutely. The Cubs put it all together and pulled it out just barely, as Todd said. They're in Boston Game 2, the 2-1 final. It's time now for another break on Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Coming up, we'll look ahead to tomorrow's game as the Cubs go for the sweep in Beantown.
Spruce up your yard with help from Black & Decker and Menards. This 13-inch cordless trimmer allows you to choose between 6 power settings. It easily converts to an edger to complete any job. Just $119. Easily spray latex and oil-based paints, stains, and sealers with the Wagner Flexio 590 sprayer. Its simple flow control and spray pattern adjustments give you complete control for any project. $129 after rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Real sports fans want to watch the game live, and nobody has more live sports than Xfinity. This is our sports app.
It'll show you every game that's playing live and every game that's scheduled to play.
It's got everything I need. Live scores updated right now.
See these live games highlighted in white? Click on any of them and watch live.
Fourth quarter, it's all tied up. I want to see this triple overtime game.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. This is the ultimate experience right here.
Enjoy the most live sports like never before with an Xfinity X1 Triple Play. See for yourself. Call 1-800-XFINITY.
Introducing Domino's new specialty chicken. We bake our boneless white meat chicken with toppings, sauces, and cheese right on top. It's a little unexpected, but hey, that's what we do. Order 2 of our new specialty chicken or medium 2-topping pizzas for only $5.99 each.
The countdown to savings is on now at Hyundai's 4th of July sales event. Beat the clock for the best deals of the year on the Elantra. Get the Elantra for 0% or $1,500 retail bonus cash. You'll find great savings all over the lot, but you have to come in now. Get an Elantra, and for a limited time, 2 months payments are on Hyundai. Hurry to the 4th of July sales event at your Hyundai dealer. Act fast. With deals this good, the clock is sure to rock. Event ends July 7th. Visit buyhyundai.com.
All cars are racing against time. Some are just doing better than others. Right now, buy 3 select Firestone Affinity Touring tires and get the 4th tire free at Firestone Complete Auto Care. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Good beer taste of Fat Tire Ale from New Belgium Brewing.
Don't forget to vote for your favorite Cubs players in the All-Star Game. Voting ends Thursday before 11 p.m. Vote for your favorite Cubs shortstop and first baseman to reach Minnesota for the All-Star Game. Go to MLB.com before time runs out. Only a few days left to vote for Anthony Rizzo and Starlin Castro in the NL All-Star team. Make sure you vote for them again at MLB.com. Well, hello, welcome back to Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Best part of the show. I get so excited about this one every night because it is time to take a look at the Blue Cross Blue Shield key to the Cubs win, Todd.
Well, it was a good key at the beginning of the day, and it should have worked out better than it did. Here's why. All right, looking dead red. This is exactly what I'm talking about, the Cubs offense. Now, Buchholz coming into this one had an 8.66 ERA at Fenway. In 57 innings, he'd given up 82 hits. I was doing a little research here. I mean, it was all about his fastball. 381 batting average against his fastball, 344 against the four-seamer, 457 against the two-seamer. I just thought it was a real opportunity for the Cubs to string some hits together.
I'm just impressed with how much research.
Looking dead red on this one, and you know what? They got it done a little bit, but not a lot. So I mean, I can't take credit for this. Of course, I needed the boys to go out there and get it done for me. Put 3 or 4 runs up there. They didn't, but there were some good at bats, and there was some not so good at bats. So again, you know, we'll give credit where credit is due. Clay Buchholz was on his game tonight. I really felt like there would have been an opportunity to jump on that fastball and do some damage, but he kept the ball in the yard and he lived on the corner, so the Cubs had their hands full.
But at home, you have to applaud God, the work Todd put into that, because it
should have been a good key.
Either way, the key was they got the hits they needed. Let's check out the pitching matchup for tomorrow's game. It'll be the Cubs sending Travis Wood to the mound to face Brandon Workman. Wood making his first career appearance versus the Red Sox. Of course, looking to even out that road record. What do you expect between these two tomorrow?
Use it to his advantage. I mean, that's just it. Travis come out. You hope that he's had these little spurts here where sometimes the walks start to pile up. You can't do that. You cannot do that against the Boston Red Sox. You'll pay dearly for it. I'm telling you right now. So hopefully Travis is on his game. He needs to be aggressive on the corners. You really have seen a good roadmap. Now I know it's been two righties for them. Obviously it was the right pitch tonight, but two righties have done most of the damage against the Boston Red Sox and the great pitching that we've seen from the Cubs. But the point is this: they've been aggressive. He's lived on the corners. Don't make trouble for yourself, Travis. That's what you don't want to do against the Boston Red Sox anyway. They're going to work you. They're going to try to see if you're going to throw strikes, and that's really going to be the kicker for him. So he's been good of late, and I think that's going to be the key. Getting all four pitches working for him, using that cutter, getting back out on the corner against the right-handed hitters, and living on the corners again, which is always his story. But again, staying away from those walks. Don't make trouble for yourself, or you'll find out that in Boston, sometimes that offense wakes up for the Red Sox.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Travis Wood with the opportunity to help the team sweep. But Todd, I want to ask you one last thing before we close out the show. As they hit the official halfway mark last night, what is it that's coming together for the Cubs right now? Just overall, playing better baseball?
Well, winning atmosphere. I mean, the pitching's really stepped up. I mean, I think you just start to buy into what's going on. I'd love to say that the offense is clicking on all cylinders. That's not going on right now. But two things that you do pick up on, like tonight, the defense has been sound. Starlin Castro, big defensive play up the middle. Backhand flip to Darwin at second base to get a big out. They're not making mistakes that beat them. This was a game that earlier in the season the Cubs would typically lose because there would be a couple mistakes along the way that would probably lead to a Boston Red Sox 3-2 win or 4-2 win. And you're not seeing that right now. You're making the pitching stand up. It's keeping you in the ball games, but you're backing that pitching up with great defense, and then you're getting some timely hitting. Sure, we'd all love to see a little bit more offense, but right now they're not beating themselves.
The confidence continues to grow for that Cubs clubhouse. We appreciate you joining us here on Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Coming up after a short break, we'll be joining the White Sox and Angels in progress in Game 2 of their day-night doubleheader.
For sure.